to another episode of Euthology, and today we'll be answering some exam type question on analytical geometry. So let's start. So we have an activity here which says in the diagram below, D, which is negative 3.3, E, which is 3.5, and F, which is negative 1.k, are 3 points in the Cartesian plane. So the first question, which is question 3.1.1, says calculate the length of DE. So what we have to do here is to use our length formula to calculate the length of DE. So let's go do that. So the length formula goes as follows. So it's DE is equals to the square root of XD minus XE squared plus YD minus YE squared. So all we have to do now is to just substitute the numbers into this formula. So XD is negative 3 and XE is 3 and YD is 3 and YE is negative 5. So let's go substitute these numbers. XD is negative 3 and XE is 3 squared plus YD is 3 and YE is negative 5. So it's going to be plus 5 because negative times negative gives us a positive. So the length of DE is equals to 10. Just punch this into your calculator and you'll get your answer as 10. So let's go to the next question. So question 3.1.2 says calculate the gradient of DE. So here we need to use the gradient formula and also just substitute the numbers into the formula. So the gradient formula goes as M DE, which is the gradient of DE, is equals to YE minus YD all divided by XE minus XD. So let's go substitute the numbers. YE is negative 5 and YD is 3 and XE is 3 and XD is negative 3. So let's go substitute these numbers. YE is negative 5 and YD is 3 and XE is 3 and XD is negative 3. So it's going to be plus 3 and the answer will be negative 4 divided by 3. So this is the gradient of DE. So the next question, which is question 3.1.3, says determine the value of K if DEF is equals to 90. So remember from our statement here, they said F is negative 1.K. So we don't know the value of Y here. So they just say the value of Y is K. So now they're saying calculate the value of K if angle DEF is equals to 90. So here we just need to use the perpendicular line formula to get the value of K. And if you don't know that formula, I suggest watching the previous video on parallel lines and perpendicular lines. So the formula goes as follows. So the formula is M, which is the gradient of DE, multiplied by the gradient of EF is equals to negative 1. We're using this formula because they told us that the angle DEF is equals to 90 degrees. And remember, we already know the gradient of DE, which is the gradient of DE is negative 4 divided by 3. So it's negative 4 divided by 3 multiplied by the gradient of EF. So let's go get the gradient of EF. So this is going to be K plus 5 divided by negative 1 minus 3. So this is the current of EF because YF is K, YE is -5, XF is -1, and XE is -3. So this is the same as K plus 5 divided by -4. So now we just need to multiply these gradients together and we get the value of K. So let's go do that. So we're going to say -4 divided by 3 multiplied by K plus 5 divided by -4 is equals to -1. And now these two -4s will cancel, and all we have to do is to multiply by 3 on this side as well as that side. And this one will cancel and will be left with K plus 5 is equals to -3. And now we transpose this 5 to the other side, and K will be -8. So this is the value of K. So let's go to the next question. So the next question says, if K is -8, so this is actually approving the answer that we got. So they said if K is -8, determine the coordinates of M, the midpoint of DF. So what we have to do here is to draw a line from D to F. And they say from that line there's a midpoint right here, and we need to determine its coordinates. So in order to determine the coordinates of the midpoint M, we need to use the midpoint formula. So the midpoint formula goes as follows. It's XD plus XF divided by 2 point YD plus YF also divide by 2. So here XD, let's go find XD. XD is -3 and XF is -1, and YD is 3 and YF is 8. It's -8. It's -8, which we solved here. So let's go find the coordinates of M. So XD is -3, XF is -1, divide by 2 point YD is 3 and YF is -8, also divide by 2. So the midpoint will be -2 point -5 divided by 2. So these are the coordinates of M, which is our midpoint. So let's go to the next question, which is our last question. So question 3.1.5 says, determine the coordinates of a point G such that the quadrilateral DEFG is a rectangle. So they say we need to make DEFG a quadrilateral, a rectangle. So DEF, so let's make this a rectangle. So they say determine the coordinates of G. So this is G right here. So remember, in a rectangle, diagonals are equal in length. So this is our first diagonal that we got its midpoint, and there's going to be another diagonal here which has the same midpoint as that one. So what we have to do here to get the coordinates of G, we need to split the midpoint formula. We need to split the midpoint formula to get the coordinates of G. So let's go do that. So how do we split the midpoint formula? So we'll start with XM, which means the X of the midpoint is equals to XG, which is the one that we're looking for, plus XE, all divide by 2. So the x of our midpoint, as we see here, the x of our midpoint is -2. So we're going to say -2, and this is the one that we're looking for, so it's an unknown, plus x of e, which is, let's go find the x of e. So x of e is 3. So the x of e is 3. So let's go substitute that into the formula. It's going to be plus 3, all divided by 2. So all we have to do is to multiply this side by 2 as well as this side by 2. And these will cancel, and we'll be left with -4 is equals to xg plus 3. So xg is going to be equals to -7. So xg is equals to -7. So we got the x value of the coordinates of g. So let's go find the y value. So with the y value, we do the same thing. The y of midpoint is equals to the y of g, which is the one that we're looking for, plus the y of e, all divided by 2. And the y of the midpoint was -5 divided by 2. So let's go substitute this into the formula. So this is -5 divided by 2 is equals to yg, and the y of point E is -5. So let's go substitute this into the formula as well. So the y of point E is -5, and all divided by 2. And this and this one and this one will cancel, and we'll be left with -5 is equals to yg minus 5. So yg will be equals to 0, because 5 minus 5 is 0. So the coordinates will be -7.0. So these the coordinates of g. That's for today, guys. Thank you for watching. Keep on practicing, and please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.